Hello, hello, my friends. Another dedicated candle review for you today. We are going to be talking about HOMEWORX Warm Vanilla Coconut. Now, this is one of their standard 4-wick 18-ounce vessels. It is currently available on the Slatkin & Co. website. And I feel like this is one that's flying under the radar. I did a review on another candle a few months ago, the Namaste Woods, kind of quietly released, kind of quietly showed up on the website with very little fanfare. And a little bit of a spoiler alert for this review, my feelings about this candle are very similar to the ones that I had about Namaste Woods in basically meaning that I feel like this is a very, very underrated fragrance that y'all might want to pay attention to. So let's go ahead and talk about this candle. First and foremost, the packaging is just stunning. So I do have the candle lit behind this, but this beautiful, like beachy landscape with the palms, and the candle is illuminated so it looks like the sunset. Oh, it's just, this is a stunning label, probably one of the best ones I've seen for the summertime. HOMEWORX typically does do a very good job with their packaging, and this is definitely no exception. Let's go ahead and talk about the fragrance notes on this candle. So the notes that are listed on the bottom of the candle are vanilla musk, coconut water, neroli blossom, sun-kissed sandalwood. Now, if you go onto the Slatkin & Co. website, sometimes if you click on that button that says description, you'll get more fragrance notes. They'll give you the top, middle, and bottom notes. So on this candle, the top notes are listed as bergamot, tropical fruit, coconut water. Mid notes of neroli, tiare, orange blossom, base notes of sun-kissed sandalwood and vanilla musk. This candle that I am reviewing has a pour date of October 9th, 2024. Okay, so this fragrance to my nose is a very, it's like a very sophisticated musky coconut type of scent. If you are a fan of fragrances, say at Bath and Body Works, like what was the one that I just had on the tip of my tongue? Santorini Coast. Or what was the other one? I think it's called Vanilla Coconut. Last year, I think it was called Vanilla Coconut Surf. If you like kind of those musky coconut type of fragrances, this is going to be for you. Now, I know some people have seen that neroli blossom note in the middle there and thought, ooh, sunscreen scent. Here's the thing. This is not really a sunscreen scent like Yankee Candle's Sun and what is it? Sun and Sand. Country Candle they had two that were released last year. They had one in like a limited edition. I can't remember exactly what that one was called, but the other one I think was called like what was it? Santal, Sand and Santal, something like that. Those to me were definitely more of like your really musky sunscreen type of fragrances. They remind me a little bit of the what is it? The Vacation brand sunscreen. Um, that that's kind of more in that lane. This candle does not fall into that for me. This fragrance to me is definitely it's still a musky coconut. It's definitely a slightly perfumey type of fragrance. However, there is a warmth to this candle. I think the fragrance title here, Warm Vanilla Coconut, is very appropriate for what I am smelling here. It's kind of funny. The vibe that I get when I smell this candle is I picture myself on some white sandy beach staying at like a nice upscale resort. And I'm just lounging out on the beach. The sun is on my skin. I've freshly applied some sunscreen, but again, it's not overly heavy type of sunscreen. And the sun is just making my skin feel warm, but I'm not like hot and sweaty because you've got that cool sea breeze coming off of you too. That is kind of what I picture when I smell this candle. Now, the base notes of sandalwood and vanilla musk definitely present there. I have said time and time again that I believe that HOMEWORX does sandalwood notes very, very well. Harry's kind of honed in on that note to be a very sophisticated sandalwood. There's nothing really artificial about it. That note was also present in the Namaste Woods candle. There's just something about the way that he does sandalwood that gives me very like high-end luxe, like luxury vacation destinations. If you were a fan of other fragrances that he did last year, that Postcards from Harry collection. He had like the St. Bart's candle. There was Santorini. Was it I think it was just called Santorini. Trying to think of all of the other fragrances that were in that collection. Palm Beach, I think, was another one. All of those fragrances were done very, very well. And Harry had said that they were inspired by places that he had vacationed, or places that he likes to visit. And I remembered saying that all of those candles were very upscale in nature. And I feel like this fragrance is a continuation of that collection. It's just, if you are somebody who is looking for a more sophisticated, beachy type of fragrance, you're definitely going to want to check this fragrance out. I really, really like it. I do smell coconut, but again, it's more of like a musky coconut type of fragrance. The neroli blossom is there, but again, it's not overly heavy like sunscreeny neroli blossom, and it's not even really like the neroli that I got in some of like the Kringle candles that I've had earlier this spring or summer. You guys know that over at Kringle, they've been a little bit obsessed with Neroli and Bergamot this spring and summer, but it's not like that. To me, again, like I said, if you're a fan of Santorini Coast Vanilla Coconut at Bath & Body Works, or if you really liked that Postcards from Harry collection last year, in the 2024, I want to say it released probably about a year ago now. If you are a fan of either one of those types of fragrances, you are going to enjoy the fragrance of this candle. Let's go ahead and talk about the performance very quickly here. You can see the wicks are performing quite well for me. I'm not having any issues with the candle pooling out. The wax pool is still pretty clean. I have not really been trimming these wicks because they have been sort of self-trimming. This candle is not burning as hot and fast as, say, some of the other candles that I've recently reviewed from HOMEWORX, like the whipped raspberry cream, something, I know I'm not saying it right, whipped raspberry vanilla, something like that. That one burned really quickly. The candied sorbet was burning very quickly, but this one is not burning as hot and fast. This one is definitely more of like a medium-sized burn, no sooting issues. This is one of those fragrances that I feel like you can leave burning a little bit longer than that 3-hour window because I'm not having issues with the wicks. Strength and throw on this candle is the only area where I've got a little bit of beef with this one. I want this candle to be slightly stronger. However, I do recognize that maybe the fragrance notes that they are using here, if they alter them at all, I feel like something might get out of balance. And maybe that's why the strength is only right now for me, it's about a 6 in terms of strength and throw. It performs very well in my master bedroom. The fragrance can get a little bit lost out in the open concept living room. So my suggestion would be to probably plan to burn this in a more closed concept room. For me, that's perfect because, like I said, this is a really nice fragrance for me to burn. My plan is to burn this on summer evenings, have it as like a bedroom scent because it's kind of just like a sexy fragrance. So yeah, to me, it's okay being a 6. And truthfully, I can pop it into a hurricane and get a little bit extra strength and throw. I'm not saying you should have to do that with candles. I am saying that sometimes that happens. And again, like I mentioned about like sometimes we want fragrances to be really, really strong, and that's all fine and dandy. But if you caught my declutter video that I did on Wednesday of this week, one of the things I mentioned was that there was one of a Bath and Body Works candle, pistachio. I think it was pistachio milk and honey. Was that the fragrance it was called? And on cold, I really, really liked that fragrance, but I felt like when the candle was burning, it was burning so hot and fast that it actually accentuated some fragrance notes to the point that they overpowered the other fragrance notes. And I felt like it completely compromised the fragrance that they were probably going for, or maybe they were going for that, but it just wasn't pleasing to my nose. So I think that's always something kind of to keep in mind, is that sometimes, fragrance oils, we want them to be stronger, but again, they all have to be balanced out, because if they get out of balance, it can really alter the fragrance to not be as pleasant. Overall, you guys, here's the thing I'm going to say. I am actually planning to repurchase this candle. I like it that much. I might buy 2 more of these just because it's a very versatile evening summer fragrance. I am currently burning it with Kringle Candles Gardenia. I tend to like to burn gardenia fragrances with some of these kind of coconut scents. I could also see myself burning this with the Caramel Sundays Pink Salt candle. That one has like a coconut and tiare flower type of thing going on. But I feel like this is a fragrance that would pair really nicely with a variety of other fragrances. I'm not sure if it would go so well with Kringle's Sea Breeze, but if you have any kind of like jasmine or gardenia scents, I think that would be a very, very nice pairing. So yes, this candle does get 2 thumbs up from me. Just know, you guys, that it is medium in terms of strength and throw. It's not going to be a powerhouse. If you have an open concept, might not throw so well for you in the open concept, but if you have a smaller home or you plan to burn it in more closed concept, I think that you're going to be okay with the performance of this candle. Like I said, it is still currently available on the Slatkin & Co website. I do have an affiliate discount code with them. It is Katie's Joyful Life. It should save you 15% on orders over $40 on the website. Not sure, they seem to change their mind all the time about when those codes can be applied. You can always type it in if you're okay using affiliate codes. But if there's a greater sale or a better discount, I will say take that one every day that ends in Y. So let me know in the comment box down below, have you purchased this candle before? What has your burn experience been with it? What do you smell? Do you agree that this is also a musky coconut fragrance? I would like to hear your opinion on that. Clearly, you guys can hear I am filming outside, and it's at the time of the day where Cody's just getting home from work. He's wanting the kids to water the plants. We've got gusts of wind coming through because, it's late spring, and that's what it does. It likes to get windy. We've got sirens. We've got trucks pulling up. We've got all sorts of stuff going on. But I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today and taking the time to listen to this review. If you liked it, please hit the thumbs up button. Consider subscribing to my channel if you are new. And again, until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.